Hello and welcome to Lion City Rock X Big O 40 40 years of counterculture. Yes, we're celebrating Big O Magazine's 40th anniversary this year. It's 40 years, man, 40th birthday. I can't remember that far back anyway, but luckily for us, we have they are organizing an event that will help us remember what Big O is all about and why it was so important to the Singapore music scene, right? It's all we need, right?
Hmm.
It's all we need, right, Kevin?
Yeah, it's all you need.
It's all we had. It's all we had
It's
at
all
the
we
time.
had. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mm.
this show is going to happen on April the 12th and 13th at 12 o'clock onwards for both days. It's in it's gonna be a music fest of sorts where you get different bands from different genres all playing on both days. And yeah, you're gonna get cool merch there as well. It's at Blackbird at Gilman Barracks, so you're gonna have a cool food and cool drinks as well. So it's gonna be a good gig, I think. Anyway, so what's gonna happen at that gig is they're gonna have 2 days of bands playing, 2 days of bands playing, and the bands we're looking at right now are. Wait, I'm still waiting for my website to load. We have Disco Biscuit.
You shouldn't by heart by now, alamak.
Ayo,
Know
hey,
by heart
hello.
by
My
now.
brain is like a sieve these days.
Disco biscuit lah, because we just
Yeah, we just talked to
it's
them. So
fresh in the
that Disco Biscuit. We got Disco Biscuit, we got Rudra, we got the Odd Fellows, we got Plain Sunset, we got Force Vomit. Who else did we
Force vomit.
who else did we talk to? I'm putting the onus on you now, Kevin, to remember the rest.
Not to anybody else, right?
No lah.
Yes. But I know P,
Yeah,
right?
that's
We have
true.
OP, we have plain sunset.
Plain Sunset, yeah. We have Pinholes, um,
In, uh,
yeah, and a whole bunch of others lah. But more importantly, we have the band that we're gonna
Astral
talk
lah,
to.
alamak.
It's true lah.
Astral,
Yeah, better
Astral.
better say lah. Otherwise, so kena hantam. Yeah, but
And of course,
and of course, the band that we're gonna talk to today, we I think I first heard of them like more than I think the 2007, 2006 around that period, around there.
20 years.
Yeah, man, it's nearly 20 years since we first caught them live, and I think they're one of Singapore's best live bands I've ever seen, like around, like forever. Yeah, but enough of me yakking.
Yeah,
Let's just bring them on,
yeah.
man, and put your hands together for a great spy experiment. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Hey, woohoo.
All right. Thank you
Hey.
so much, Chris. I think that was very, very kind. But yes, we are the Great Spy Experiment. My name is Saiful. I sing and I play the guitar. I let the others introduce themselves.
Okay, hi, I'm Kai. I play the bass.
I'm Magdalene, I'm the keyboardist.
Me too. Hi, I'm Song. I play the guitar, and Bundy is around somewhere.
Yeah, Fandi can't join us because he's got work. But yeah, we are the Great Spy Experiment. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
nice to have you guys here, man. How you guys been doing?
Um,
Good.
I like I like how you I like how she's like slowly, tentatively sliding at it.
just just living the responsible adult life,
Yeah.
lah. And then once in a while,
What's that?
we jam.
What's that?
What's that? You don't know, is it, Kevin? You
Don't
are
wanna
an
know.
irresponsible adult, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, lah, just the family, family people doing stuff for the kids and going to work and yeah, things like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, on April, you guys will be doing more than that. You guys are going to be part of a lineup that this big old 40 years of counterculture gig. But I think one of the things about Great Spy Experiment is that, yeah, like I said, they are seriously one of Singapore's best live bands, and they were one of the biggest like indie breakouts, right? But was that the kind of vision that you guys had for GSE when you first started? You know, what was that like when you first got together?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Um, I think when we started out 20 years ago, so this was in 2005. That's when I first met Kai and Meg. I already known Fandi and Song from before that. um, we didn't just want to be just your standard kind of Singapore indie band. I think we had a clear vision of kind of wanting to change the face of Singaporean independent music. And I think the important thing is that we had a strategy which was to work with different people, and we had a lot of help from many different people, including you guys, in the media back then. But yeah, I mean, Mike, our manager, he when he came in, he really kind of made that vision, helped us to make that vision a reality. So we started, working with brands. We started looking beyond Singapore. Um, when we made our music, we wanted to make sure that the quality was really, comparable to the things that were coming out from outside of Singapore. So definitely, I think we set our aims high, and we worked hard to kind of to make those things happen. I was just sharing with some people today that I think in the first year, when we started out, we played, I think, almost 70 shows in the space of a year, including shows where we were playing to like 8 people, uh, in very small venues and things like that. So I think we did the groundwork. We wanted to hone our craft as much as we could. So yeah, so I think, but like I said, I think we couldn't have done it without the help of many people around us. There were so many people like Suwei and Ross from Power 98. They were the first to put our songs on radio. People from the media like you guys, Dino as well. We had people from like the corporate world. We had friends who ran events, so they really helped to push us to other brands and other partners that we could work with, and other bands as well. So like this, I was just thinking that we're one of those bands who we see other bands doing a lot for the scene. I can't say that we've done the same. Like this whole event, I'm quite amazed by what Matt and the rest of the team have come up with. So I guess we're very thankful and very lucky as well that we are a part of this. Yeah.
Just give me a sec. Yeah, okay. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Well, here's the thing. I mean, um, when you guys were on the scene already, I mean, Big O was probably, it had gone past its initial magazine type phase already, and it was by the time it was more or less an online kind of thing. But were you guys ever affected by Big O? And did you ever hear of it, or was it a thing that it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it happened, the kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Um, my first introduction to Big O was actually through my lit teacher in Sec 2. He used to
Wow.
play for Fish on Fridays, if you guys know about that band.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, yeah.
yeah.
Deep
So
cut.
yeah, because I'll see him leave school at like at 1 p.m. sharp in his cool little mini and Ray-Bans on, because he plays the sax, right? Um, and we are kind of like quite tight as a class lah. So one day he brought in this magazine and he was just showing us he's on this magazine. It's like self-plug all. And then I was being that curious 14-year-old and I started reading and I found out like, hey, this is quite cool because there were other bands on it as well. And this was back in 90, I don't know, 92, 93, thereabouts. So, and that was the rise also with the whole subculture, especially with the hardcore and punk scene, right? With Stomping Ground and all that. And during that time, coincidentally, I was also skateboarding. And that's always a foray into like the whole subculture and alternative life and stuff like that. And the other zines or zines back then. And it was through that I attended my first gig, and it was at World Trade Center. Yeah, I think they were trying to promote School of Rock or something. I think it was called School of Rock. If you guys can remember, they gave away
Rock.
3 CDs. Sorry?
New School
New
Rock.
School Rock lah.
Yeah, New School Rock. That's the one. Yeah. The new, yeah. So they had like bands like Drill and all that. And as a 14-year-old growing up, I was like, damn, I didn't know like Singapore had such an amazing scene back then. And this was like, we're talking about all by either word of mouth or like friends passing on like CDs and cassette tapes of demos of other bands. And then I subscribed to Big O magazine after convincing my parents. Yeah. And back then I also started picking up on how to play the guitar, and I managed to, under the classifieds, I made friends with Angela. There's this girl who was also skateboarding, who knew Pauline Chong. And she was saying that, hey, why don't I introduce you to Pauline Chong? She plays in a band. She was looking for like a second guitarist and all that. And I said, of course, let's just do it lah. And ever since then, I mean, I didn't know about the band that she was playing in. So I attended like an audition like thing, and I only knew 3 chords back then. G, D, C. I still remember, and those were the chords to "Knocking on Heaven's Door" by Guns N' Roses, a cover of yeah. But anyway, so I managed to pass the audition, and I was borrowing my cousin's guitar and all that stuff lah. So. And that was my first introduction to playing in a local band, and it was called Sideshow Judy back then. Yeah, and ever since then until today, I'm still very thankful for that opportunity at the classifieds in Big O magazine. So I can say for a fact it's because of Philip Cha and the brother and the whole gang that kind of like led me to where I am today in terms of local music and being able to contribute as well. So yeah.
I think Kai is probably the only person in the band who has appeared in Big O magazine with Sideshow Shudi, because I think when we started, when we started, it's kind of like past it already. So yeah, so Kai is the OG.
No lah, I was bored lah. But no, I'm not. I was bored, and I was thankful also. Having really, I think it was really the beginning of everything was really through Big O magazine. And of course, I saw this band that played 4-piece. I can't remember the band's name, but it was on TV in Channel 5. Do you guys know of this band? 4-piece. Forgive my...
4-piece. Global Chaos, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's the
or
thing.
ESP, one of them.
ESP, yes.
ESP, right? Yeah, and it was the first time you get a local band on like national TV, and like we were all so excited, me and my friends lah. Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, it's got so much to be. I mean, I'm really thankful for Big O magazine.
Hey, by the way, this is Fundy's contribution. So he said Big O was the internet to local music for me. Full stop. Thank you.
Remote, really remote.
Yeah, man. I also say. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing as well. For you guys, then, when you guys were coming on, so at that point in time, the scene was kind of like just getting started back again. I mean, before you guys, I think there was only Electrical, maybe Observatory, and the whole scene was coming back in around the time that you guys were formed. But maybe you could share some of the biggest like challenges when you're breaking out of the local scene, and also gaining recognition not just in Singapore but outside of Singapore as well.
I mean, I think a lot of the challenges that we faced were very similar to what many of the other bands were facing as well. I mean, I suppose even until today, the biggest challenge that Singaporean musicians face is the cultural cringe, right? I mean, this is something that, as you know, people who are very much involved in the local music scene, we would know about this phenomenon, like, where where people have this tendency to appreciate something foreign more than something that's done by their own people. So that was something that we were very much we were as vulnerable to that as I think many of the other bands in Singapore. But yeah, I mean, for us, I think what you said just now was really quite spot on. I've never kind of underplayed the role of luck in our journey, because I think in terms of timing, I think the timing was just right for a band like us to kind of break into the scene with the whole new Brit rock kind of sound, kind of dominating the world. So I think we were able to ride that wave line in a sense. We were lucky in terms of meeting the right people. But beyond the contextual challenges, I think we also had quite a few personal challenges. I think Mac can share her story. I mean, this was really quite early when we started out as well. She had her illness and all that. Mac, you want to chime in?
Huh? Is this the platform to talk about this? Oh my god.
No, it's up to you.
Are we talking about personal challenges? But I really think struggle as a band, right? But I mean, for me, it will be probably like, I think it's a team thing. Even though I was trying to struggle with my chemotherapy and everything, and also publicly, my looks are changing. So I lost I think 80% of my hair, but I still continue to play because I knew that we were riding that wave, and I felt like it was personally, I didn't want to slow everybody down. As you know, like Saiful said, we were playing 70 shows a year, and that's a lot of shows, and it obviously, like, I just felt like whatever personal challenges I had to like just tahan on the inside and then just go on stage and just play a good show, right? Just play a good show. But I think along the way, as the band moved, I think it started to take its toll on me, because I think we were just starting out, and then like I was just like, okay, you know what? Whatever it is, like the look, so it started to change, and then I started to like just mask it. I think the word is masking, and then I think it's like the whole band thing. I just felt like I didn't want to slow anybody down. I didn't know I'm gonna talk about personal challenges, but there were quite a few. But this is the one that we started. Like, I fell sick in 2005, and I started on my medical treatment in 2006. That is the year that we really went forward and really played a lot of shows. And I kind of remember that I had a 6-hour chemotherapy in the day, and then we had a show at Guest House. And then I was vomiting my way to the gig, and I told myself I need to hold my vomit, so I make sure I play the show and then just get home and rest. So that was what it is lah. So I didn't really think about it, but once you go on stage, I think the adrenaline and the energy that bounces off the people who are at the show, I think it really kept me going. But then after go home, that's another totally different story lah. But yeah, I think that was my challenge. It happened just like at the start of the band taking off, like playing different shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sorry, Mac, for putting you on the spot like that.
Put me on the
This Saiful, Taskmaster, and Saiful, like that.
No, but okay. But the point is that, I mean, of course, as a band, we face our challenges, and like I said, very similar to what many bands would have faced. But I think on top of that, we also had personal challenges like this lah. So, but I must say, I think one of the reasons why people were able to connect with us was because we were always quite transparent about the challenges that we're facing. I mean, it's something that we share, with our listeners, with our fans, and I think they were able to relate to us more because of that kind of intimate connection that we kind of left ourselves vulnerable for people to see lah. So Yeah.
Nice say, Saiful. Bye.
No, I mean it's obviously a very inspiring story. Thanks for that, Mike. Really inspiring story. Okay, so here's a fun fact. All right, because you're all talking about you did a lot of gigs. So I think personally, the band that I've seen most live is Great Spy Experiment. Right? So it's like a whole ton of memories in my mind, right? But I want to ask you, what do you think was for each one of you, defining moment for the Great Spy Experiment as a band? What's the defining moment?
Song, you wanna take this one?
I need time
Let the
to
ladies hear
think.
your voice.
Let me think. Someone take this first. I need to think about it. There are too many. Too many.
Yeah,
Define,
exactly.
What?
That's
Yeah.
defining.
No, the one with Kevin Matthews singing with us in Zookout lah.
Yeah, that was
that
cool,
was
man.
I wasn't there, so
Yeah, yes.
That's why it was a defining moment.
Yeah, good memory.
Hey, but it's true though. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one. I mean, our break came when we joined Power Jam, that competition. And so I think that will always be special to us, lah. And I think for me personally, that whole Power Jam experience made me realize that the kind of music that we were making actually had potential to reach a lot of people. Because before that, we were playing ska, like retro pop slash ska, and I felt like, it just wouldn't have the impact, lah. Yeah, so I think Power Jam was the first time when I really felt, wow, people are really vibing with us. I think yeah. But there's a lot lah. I think in the early years, uh, whenever we played Class A and we saw the reaction of the crowd, I think yeah, I mean that was very special as well. I mean, obviously now 20 years on, actually no, even now 20 years on, the kind of feel that you get when we play that song is still special. But it was even more so when we first started. There was just something about the way people reacted to the song that made us believe that we had something special. Yeah. Ready, song?
Yeah, okay. I think, right, like for me, it has to be when we play Babies.
Mm.
Because we play a number of Babies, but there's the first there's one that stood out for me was when we did the band hug before, and then we did the band hug after, and then Funny was crying after that, that one. Because I
That was
think we on a very personal level, I think the band was going through some tough times then at that point, particularly at that point. So that show, we felt we felt the togetherness again, the unity again, you know. Yeah. And after that it felt good. And then the crowd as well, the energy from the crowd. We were playing on the power stage, and I've seen videos of it. That was an amazing show for me as well. I mean, looking down at them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another special one. So the thing about that show was that we played the entire Litmus album,
Mm.
and before it was released. So I think, yeah, the fact that that was the first time the crowd was hearing the album, and yet they were still into it. I think that was, yeah, really cool.
Oh yeah, we did the whole album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't think we can do that anymore. How to play,
You don't ask Kai.
Yeah, Kai, how to play?
Sabo, sia.
Play Crystal lah, scared.
Well, not scared really, not scared really. Yeah.
Yeah, but and the last Babies we did when we came back in 2023, that was very special as well. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Anyone else? Anyone?
I think coming back together lah, because we went on a hiatus for a couple of years, I think. I mean, we were still in touch, but we didn't like make our way to the jamming studio or talked about music much. I think it was post-COVID. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Where they came over to my place and we caught up, and then yeah, one thing led to another, and now we're back in the studio lah, writing new songs. So yeah, I think quite defining in that
It was
sense.
a couple of years, bro. 8
Yeah,
years.
8 years. A couple of years.
Couple times
Couple
4.
times 4 kind of thing. But it felt, I mean, okay lah, yeah.
Because you see Mike every day, it didn't feel like you left,
It
right?
felt long.
It didn't
Yeah.
feel,
It didn't feel long, yeah.
it didn't feel long.
Because we were still in touch lah. That's the thing.
Maybe you see me. It didn't feel long.
Yeah, I see my wife every day, so I
Yeah, that's right. It's right.
so, but yeah, that's a defining moment where we met up after COVID at my place, and yeah, and it was quite cool to know that everyone's okay and the love was still there lah, for each other.
But for me, I think the defining moment, even though, I mean, we are talking from a local context, is South by Southwest when we played it. It's that we kind of traveled and then we know each other really well now, like who sleeps until what time, who has hay fever, and who has back pain after a long like trip. And then we caught so many other bands like Block Party and everything. To me, it was a dream to be in the same lineup as these people that I listened on my iPod last time. So I feel that as a band, at that point of time, I really felt like each one of us was important. And I couldn't do without any one of them. So that was a defining moment for me. And it really felt like it was a family. And because like when we traveled and then we saw Krispy Kreme in the middle of midnight, and then we went in and then we bought a whole bunch of Krispy Kreme, went back to the hotel and then just stuff ourselves with Krispy Kreme. Those times, little things that we do really kind of like realize that even a show, whether we always go in at 100%, but sometimes the at the receiving end, it might not be how we expect it to be. But at the end of it, I think it's okay because we have each other and we don't like, how do I put it? It's just that we always try to go to a venue, have fun, give our 100%, have fun because we are just together. That's about it. And South by Southwest really put us in that space where we realize like we are on the same stage with some of the international acts that we have been admiring from afar, and it's so like defining for us to play and represent Singapore in that lineup. And when people come up and ask us like, oh, Singapore, where's that? Is it part of Malaysia? Is it part of China? And then it becomes like, oh, okay, I mean, what we are doing is important. And because before on that trip itself, we had to get all sorts of leave and different leave, and we're going through so much trouble to get leave just to go on that trip. So when we went there, it really felt like we were actually recognized as musicians, and not like we have a full-time job and just playing this on a passion project. And when we were there, we really felt like, oh, okay, this is how musicians, like the tech people, like, you know, even like the crowd, they were very open in like what we were playing. So I thought that was a defining moment as we bring what we have in Singapore out of the country lah. Yeah.
Just to add on also, I think that was the moment where I realized I think us Singaporean bands are actually quite pampered here. Because in the States, everybody had to bring their own drum set, bring their own amps, the whole backline basically. Whereas down here, organizers actually do provide all these things, and we often take that for granted. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Zouk Up, from that gig, standing on stage was what does it feel like to be a member of Experiment? Because when I'm looking down at the audience, and I've never seen this before for my gigs. So this whole row of kids, right? Their faces all lighted up, smiling, like experience in their life. So obviously, right, the sound that you have is very crowd pleasing. It's very very indie, very anthemic. So how did you develop this in order to kind of some reaction?
I mean, to be fair, Kevin, there are many shows where we have that, but we've also had our fair share of shows where, you know, you're playing and people are like, they might as well not be there. So, but so we had to do our, what do you call it? We had to pay our dues lah in that sense. Um, okay, so for me, I think it's really it has to be about the songs lah, right? I think the songs have to be the kind of song that people can really connect with at an emotional level, and yet it's not like all the way emo, but there's also elements of just rocking out and just like enjoying the oral qualities of the song. So I think that's something that we do think a lot about when we write our music. And one of the things that I must say, the things that these guys bring to the songs are really quite they make it easy lah for the songs to become what they are. So I think that's something that I guess we know that it's not something that's easily found. We've seen many bands making great music, but somehow they don't last, or they don't kind of they they, they they're not able to continue what they did successfully before. So I think for me, it's the chemistry between the five of us, the things that they bring to the songs that I write the skeleton or the draft, but yeah lah, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to get the same kind of songs with four other people. Yeah. So yeah, I think it has to start with the songs for me.
Okay, so here's one that might be a bit difficult or awkward question, right? So okay, so I don't know how familiar you are with today's indie music scene in Singapore. Are you able to see elements of your sound or impact in today's scene?
Okay, honestly, no. I think the scene now is very much informed by what's happening around the world, the kind of sound that we're hearing. So it's more of a global sound. So I wouldn't say that that our music has inspired the music that we hear now. If anything, I think our impact more has been more at the kind of we've had many young musicians coming up to us, telling us that because of us, because of the things that we have achieved, it's helped them to believe that they can achieve great things as well, and many of them have. So I think that's more of our impact that I see from interacting with the younger musicians. Musically, I think they take a lot more from from other musicians lah. So not quite. I don't really see that. Yeah, I don't see our music impacting directly in that way. Yeah. But when you're at our age, it's nice lah to hear the younger generation coming up to us and say, you've inspired us. Yeah, so we were just happy lah that we managed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully the younger generation will be at the gig on April 12th and 13th. I'm going to keep repeating this every time. 12 o'clock onwards at Blackbird. Yeah, because Grace Pie will be performing. They'll be doing a cool set. They'll be playing on day one, not on 12th April. Yeah, and speaking about, you just now you mentioned about getting back together in 2023 to play the Bay Beats and stuff like that. But what about this gig, this upcoming one? What does it feel like to get, I mean, to get a chance to play at this gig?
I mean, the first local band that I saw live was Force Vomit. So to play alongside them is quite special. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a local band was at the old HMV, was it? Or no, HMV at Heron. Yeah, so they had just launched their album, so they were doing a promo show there. Um, yeah, so Force Vomit have always been like one of my favorite Singaporean bands. The Pinholes, when we were starting out, we shared stages with them, and it's really nice to see them. They're very successful now. Their Spotify numbers are quite amazing. Yeah, so I mean, Astral, we've shared the stage with them many times. It's always been a pleasure to kind of like hang out with them. So yeah, it's just I'm just looking forward to not just playing the show, but also to meet all these people again. I think at this stage in our lives, we are not as social as we used to be. I can, yeah, I don't really see or meet people anymore, as often as I used to. So I think it's nice to kind of feel that sense of community again. Being surrounded by those guys and the people who love the music lah. So yeah, for me, I'm looking forward to that.
What about the rest of you guys?
The first thing I saw was Mother would be playing Nigel Hogan, is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I grew up listening to Mother lah, so I'm really excited to watch them live again after so many years. Yeah, of course, it's an honor to be part of the bill in that sense. To be attending the other show as well with OP. Who else is that on the? To be honest, I'm also quite disappointed not seeing some of my like favorite bands like Livonia. Yeah, I wonder why Livonia's not playing. Foresight.
Livonia.
Yeah. But yeah lah. It's a start, I guess. Hopefully, this does not end at the 40th anniversary. Could be just an annual thing in Singapore, and it starts to be a space on its own where all the local bands can just contribute all the way lah. Shouldn't just be one show lah, to be honest. Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
Chris, you say I'm the taskmaster.
I'm the one behind the curtain lah, but yeah.
I'm just the puppet, bro.
Yeah.
Song.
Oh yeah, okay. I think we're just happy to play. We're always happy when we get to play. So, and with all, I think this is it's gonna be a good show, a great show. I mean, as they say, all the lineup is amazing, and then yeah, I think when I first went to watch local bands, it's the time of fellas.
The Japanese occupation.
Before that.
Sorry.
Yeah, the OP times when OP played at Fort Canning, or was it that space where SMU is now? I think they had like open
The substation.
No, it's not substation.
Was it Youth Park?
They erect
Oh, the field, the
field.
correct.
The field used to be, where
Across
near
from
National
SGI.
Library.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
between, yes.
They had one big show where they had like OP. They had
Yeah, I think that was the Arts Fest, if I'm not wrong.
So I think that was one of the first shows I went. So to play with these people is gonna be, it's an honor. So yeah.
Hey, by the way, just on behalf of the band, I just want to thank Matt and the organizers, because seriously, we see the amount of work that has gone into this, and really kudos lah. We really have to give it up to them. Yeah, and I think like Kai said, let's hope that there'll be more. And because again, like he said, there are many other legendary Singaporean bands that could easily be on the bill as well. So I think many people are also looking forward to seeing all these bands. So yeah, hopefully the first of many. And I just want to say one thing. I think when we got back together, right, one of the luxuries that we had was that we could really be very selective in the kind of shows that we were going to play, right? Because we're not in a position where we need to play 70 shows a year anymore, right? So I think that's going to be our approach moving forward. And when we heard about this event, I think there's just no way we could have said no lah. So yeah. So thanks, Matt.
More shows, more good shows ahead. Um, but yeah, I mean, speaking about, I mean, the thing is, if you want to have more shows, also you have to come out with more music. So, I mean, you mentioned about doing music and stuff like that. Are you guys? Do you guys have anything down already? Is there anything that we can expect in the near future then for Great Spy?
You can expect me to get my baselines correct lah this time around.
Hey Kai,
You always do. You always do on the show itself. You always do.
It's you zero mistakes, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I made like so many more mistakes than you. We are writing. So we did this year is Song's 50th birthday. So we kind of have
Oh my god.
this goal to release an album to celebrate this milestone in his life. I don't think we can do like a full album, so maybe an EP, but on at the Bigo show, we're gonna be playing at least. I mean, we're gonna be playing one song that we haven't played before, or we haven't put out before, alongside Sanctuary and Secrets that we released last year. So yeah, good time to test the ground, I guess.
Okay. I mean, well, this one will have to be the last one, but you know, I was just wondering if you have any message for any of your fans out there, those who had developed a Class A love affair with you guys right from right from the start. What do you like to say to those?
Bring your kids.
So you can expect kindergarten or what?
Maybe Mark will set up a bouncy castle outside or something like that.
At Blackbird.
Cause honestly, a lot of people who listen to us, when they were young and when we were younger, they all like had families and kids now. So probably like maybe even get going age. So I don't know. Bring your kids. Come.
I mean, for me, I think I just want to say a big thank you. I think for the last 20 years, we have received so much love and from our fans, and we were very kind of like we always saw them as friends, fans who became friends, that kind of thing. So if they do come for the show, and we hope they will, we hope that we will be able to take them back, like 15-20 years, so that they can feel, just for that one day a bit younger. But yeah, just thank you thank you so much. Too many people to thank personally, but yeah, we owe many people a great debt of gratitude. Yeah.
Okay, well, you've heard what they said. Go down to the show, bring your kids, bring everybody, and the show that they'll be playing on day one, which is on April the 12th, along with The Mother, Typewriter, Obstacle Upsurge, Force Vomit, and Plain Sunset. So there's gonna be one heck of a gig, man. And of course, please go down to the neonpulse.com. That's TheNeonPulse.com. That's where you can get tickets for this show. You can buy for 1 day, like single days, or you can buy like I think there's a package for both days as well. But please go fast, because I heard that they're really running out. They're selling like hotcakes. Or like or crispy
Yeah.
or Krispy Kreme or whatever, Mr. Donut, whichever is the latest confection that's. But the thing is, you buy the ticket, right? The thing is, the ticket comes with some cool collectibles as well. I believe there's gonna be a CD and some big old merch, and you can also buy like T-shirts, online as well. There's gig T-shirts, but also you have band T-shirts as well. I think Great Spy has a T-shirt that will be on sale on the website. So once again, that's the neonpulse.com. Go there, get your T-shirts, get your tickets. And yeah, I mean, we'll see you on the day itself, man. It's gonna be 2 cool days of rocking 40 years of counterculture. I personally am very excited to go and see that. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.